Okay, yeah, we're all here. Who's noticed the little nightingale, well, quite big nightingales outside? Yeah. No, Anyway, really good that you're here. We are in for a treat. The title of this is In the Beginning, because it was on this day in 1611 that I think the King James Bible was released or something, or published. So that's why In the Beginning, first three words. But you can take it as you wish, or do your own thing.
Released to the public, you mean?
Yes. So, Rowan Joyce is a poet who looks for the infinite in the infinitesimal. Thanks for writing that.
Well done for saying it.
He looks for big things in little things.
Yeah,
I look for little things in littler things.
He is inspired by nature and mythology, I can say that, to attempt to enter altered states of poetry, which is the title of his set. Much of his poetry engenders a spiritual connection with the wilderness, inspired by his passion for scuba diving. If any of you saw the image for Liverbards this month, you'll see him in your scuba diving gear. It was pretty cool. The only guy I know to have written a poem from the perspective of a whale shark so far. That's a challenge. Anyway, please give it up for the wonderful Rowan Joyce.
Thank you so much for that introduction, Ali. I'd like to split this set into two halves, as I've timed these poems, and I don't want to spend too much time banging on about them, but a little bit of explanation is needed. For all your hard work, you always come up with some type of prompt for us. I've written, I think, maybe 4 to 5 times to that prompt. So I'm going to split this, and I'm going to read out 3 poems that actually are in response to the prompt, and then in the beginning, and then basically, if I can get my head around it, I'll explain what I mean by altered states of poetry and what that's all about. So let's start with the sunrise, the beginning that marks each day. Opening up to the light. In each new sunrise, a new chance to change and rearrange. Each sunrise bursts clouds, removes shrouds from eyes. The sunrise disintegrates lives. Each sunrise is a dance, a slant of light reflected in pallor of the earth's turning. Each sunrise paves the way for yesterday and infinite tomorrows. Each sunrise borrows from sunset an immutable spark that has yet to be yet. Each sunrise mesmerizes, paints pastel penitence in morning choir. The trill of birds alights from bough in boundless flight. Each sunrise awakens eternal power, singing life born of death in night's wilting flowers. Each sunrise an eternal flame that burns at the heart of the nameless name. Flame in crystal skin of Ouroboros within, infinite currents of light, circling day in cessation of night. I thought I'd start with something like upbeat, you know what I mean? This one maybe not so quite as upbeat, but still on theme. This is a new poem as well, I've been working on for the last couple of weeks. The beginning is a condition. In the beginning, an apple is all shine, a reflected face and skin, a thin film of understanding, unnamed, unknowing, free of preposition, free of imposition, free of any conditioning, other than it tastes so good. In the beginning, a flame is a fascination, light untamed, dancing, unframed, unnamed, until you reach out and feel pain, steal that iota of wonder, and conditioning begins. You start to ration curiosity, a case for what is rational. Experience as a teacher, suddenly the face in the apple is more than a sheep. In the beginning, the baby's eyes stare at things unseen by me or you. Everyone has witnessed this flicker of iris building a picture of the unknown, growing the world in filigrees, making art of a reality that gets beaten, burned, reflected, unlearned, unconditioned, conditioned, fashioned, taught, wrought into right and wrong. Despots are formed from sociopaths taught versions of the world. That's also conditioning. In the beginning, even Hitler was born unconditioned. Pol Pot was not, I repeat, not an evil baby. In the beginning, Martin Luther King wasn't aware of the monumental change he would bring. He was not born good or bad. In the beginning, all children arrive empty as the slate that lies at the base of the quarry, unwritten, unhewn, unconditioned, not shaped or made to lay as shingle on roofs or work at what they were taught to think. In the beginning, we are all like an empty sink. It's a shame we're rarely filled with pure water. Formless, able to mingle, perfectly move from solid to liquid, rise in flight as vapor, escape form to fall finally as our planet's lifeblood and mingle free, a billion molecules in the currents of the seas of imagination. In the beginning and at the end, we spend a short time wallowing in the wonder that self is a prison we crack. We emerge from that lifelong chrysalis of conditioning to realize they're all me. I am here. She is another molecule of me, all steered by unknown currents. We are water and energy, a cosmic soup, flowing in a sublime paradigm between patterns and chaos to finally regroup as something newborn. When it's all said and done, the end becomes the beginning. This one's kind of bringing us into altered states of poetry, to be quite honest. This is, basically my idea of altered states of poetry is simple, really. There's nothing unique about me, other than like you all, I am unique. Everyone has a different way of looking at the world, and I think poetry, art, music, all of that, and at the heart of that lies sort of expressing those infinitesimal ways in which we see the world differently. So a lot of the poems I'm going to read now are written from the perspective of other people or other creatures, and that's what I call altered states of poetry. This one is about a Viking dying and being reborn into the world. The space between worlds. It's also a ghazal, by the way, which is an ancient kind of form of poetry, Arabic form of poetry, so there's some kind of repeating of phrases throughout. I died, and then my shuttered eyes opened to feral sky choked with beaded jewels, ablaze in the branches of heaven. Wind blowing a maelstrom of lingering life, roiling and upwelling, Wadara brooms, water feeding the branches of heaven. A tree full grown from a prescient dream, shriven in long suffering, a world of wandering, wakeful moments in the branches of heaven. I flail, inhale memories of day and night, birth, life, taking a wife, death, killing, leaves tremor in the branches of heaven. Mist and sail, crystal drops stained with madder, clad in leather, singing slaughter, wet stone to axe, for thundering among the branches of heaven. Beasts slavering at the roots of the world, Isidril flailing steel whips of wave and gale on ships' hulls, ran, casting dull net high to the branches of heaven. Scaled in armour, I was caught, sinking in abyssal, gasping death, bereft, my shuttered eyes opened, blazing a new heart from the branches of heaven. Now, no breath. Bleeding earth and the silver tree, a harp thrumming scars across the penitent sky, braggy chanting from the branches of heaven. Weeping stars heal scars in that forgetful song. Odin watches, beards of cloud shroud morning's herald. Melody rustles, blood leaves in the branches of heaven. Valkyrie's chorus, capillaries throb in wilting waves, squeezing like worms struggling in calico earth. The molten light spills through the branches of heaven. Blazing white light, scarred red threads glisten. I'm rent, squalling, Hugin immune and squawking from Isidril's tumult. in the branches of heaven, fading bliss of feral sky choked with beaded jewels, as Braggy's chant stutters and stops, as blood and clots of flesh enmesh the opening to those branches of heaven. And this is a poem about a goddess going on holiday. Dionysus Sojourn. She wanders over stone-clad lakes, her feet a cloud, affecting whisper of ripples. I dive from cliffs into the sediment sigh of waves, washing this fragmented soul. Brittle star bruises flap from my skin, losing these scales as I breathe in salt air, the cry of the gulls, the wind. As surf-sodden thighs cradle me in the lee of the land, where sky meets sea and her seaweed hair straddles new-grown skin. And she walks in San Antonio's hepatic, ecstatic commotion. The great wheels sloughs neon flakes that beat at the sky and patterns echoed in the waves in their wake. Walks from Castle Mount to trance-founded chapel of celebration, where love's expression dances in the fire-bright smelt of the sunset smear that melts away all fear. She is heard in the howls and hoots, the screaming cars born in humid, luminous, drunken debauch. She is seen in the thousand-yard smiles that gleam from painted faces, heard in the pounding drums that echo from bars to stars that freckle her brow, felt in the sensual embrace of lovers encased in each other. Ibiza's heat waves quivers Dionysus' hips as she sinks in, perspiring emotion, our skin shedding sun lotion, her smile the flash of silver-crested waves born in a moment as they crash in destruction on the rocks of a past age. This is the first poem I have got published in the John Moore's poetry anthology when I did a creative writing degree there. I won't say any more about it, to be honest. It's called A Soulless Shoe. Blasted skin baked by furnace light, fried bacon sizzling red, illuminated coal blackened back bent in weary stoop, the whole of focus finite, eyes locked on glowing metal, a scientist with a microscope, hammer. Slowly the horseshoe takes shape, hammered with iron will, steam rising from the water bucket, finding freedom in dense air, escaping the cauldron soon to boil with white-hot metal. He stamps his mark with a child's eye, driving an internal drumbeat, rhythmic, almost soothing. Smash, bang, then heat again, as shapes born from the molten dough, Lego-like in its satisfaction, a simple, soulless shoe. The farrier holds court in his furnace, king of fire living out dreams that burn. This place where he is lord, where all bends to his blistered hands, crafts dreams he barely fathoms, moulding him in their shape. Cheers. This is a sensual poem, literally trying to use only smell and sort of what I hear, and it was written in the estuary as the tide goes out when you're on your way to Hilbury Island. It's called Sacred Symphony. Drying seaweed rustles, the siren song of seals drift like pearls riding the breeze. As water settles, susurrus in vessels, blood and mineral stream, birthed in presence, alive in tidal dreams. Rock pools reflect sky, grey eyes winking from pock-marked faces. Jellyfish wallow in salient hollows, withering in the sun. The hum of life strung strings in the morning. I sit on a seaweed cushion, still in sacred symphony. And as Ali mentioned, I've written a poem from the perspective of a whale shark, so that's got to be read. It's called The Mother of Oceans. She steers by the hum of the tide, tasting patterns in currents. The boom of waves on ships' hulls lulls weary sinew. Sonar's song permeates her bones. Shearwaters cry at the clouds. Winds shudder and moan. In the thrum of this cacophony, she reads the signs of the seas. The buzz of life on distant coral atolls enlivens her senses, tickles her mind. 1,000 miles in singing motion, dancing clouds night and day, mark milestones in a desert of water. A moment of golden memory from dark depths of instinct is surfacing year after year. Until at last at journey's end, rest, repast. Engorged in bliss, the whale shark sways through plankton blooms, illuminated by God rays, pleated by sunbeams, empty of intention beyond the simple need to feed and the promise of new life. She inhales salt, watery breath, breathing the future, exhaling what's left. I would just like to go out with a bang by doing something different, which is a music collaboration that I did with a friend of mine called Nikki Haley. Hopefully this will work. Wander city streets paved with echoing weight, striations of realities whittled in mind states. I wonder if sunbeams seem the same for the child embraced by their mother. In the blinking wide-eyed confusion of pigeons, we all look like each other, specks of, gusts of dust on grey paved desert. I meander Park Lane, welts of rain flay my skin. Besuited, spectacled businessmen cluck like hens on their phones, make deals in the hollows between paving stones. My somnolent eye drinks the patter and splatter of shoes from puddles, drowning in hopes and struggles. Down the high streets, ponderous buses pass like journeying elephants, lined with faces that express the eloquence of the passage of time, chipped from a quarry of thought, dug from a field of sublime memories, each suspended in a prism of reflection. And all the while, I realise the self is a prison we crack. All the while, I feel the backdraft of 1,000 thinkers, all drinking from hope's chalice, all drowning in struggle, all winding the cogs, all setting alarms, all building ideas like charms, repeated in the silence behind the eyes. I realise they're all me, and I'm them, and we are we. I wander on, changed, engulfed in Sonder.